Hey guys, it's Christy, and today's Monday, so it is general reading day. I'm going to go ahead and light our candle. And today, what I'm going to do, or for the whole week with my videos, I am going to shoot them like I do my private readings. As far as I'm going to draw from all 5 of my Law of Attraction decks, as well as my chakra deck. That is what I do for my private readings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the videos will be a little bit longer, but a lot more messaging and advice involved. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you'll hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel out. And let's get started. I'm super excited for another week of videos. Messaging from the universe. Thank you, universe, for being here with us, giving us messages that can help to enhance our lives so that we can keep expanding. All right, so the first deck I'm drawing from is the Getting into the Vortex Law of Attraction deck. I just love, love, love these cards. Oh, there we go. We got our first one. Okay, so our first message is there are many right ways for us to behave. I recently got this one, and I love it because it talks about how we can live our lives, reaching for joy, creating the life that we desire, while we also allow others who behave differently than us, believe differently than us, to also live in their creations without us getting emotionally entangled, so that we can have our focus on what it is that we want. So the message is, it is possible to live upon this planet with large numbers of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways, in peace. So I like this message for the beginning of our general reading because it is all about live and let live. I think that's very important because a lot of times we feel like in order for us to be happy, we need people to behave a certain way. And that's where we start to get into the slippery slope of control, of desiring to control other people's behavior so that we can be happy. And that does not work. So reaching to have your own beliefs and be able to maintain those while you allow other people in your life, whether it's someone close to you, people you work with, acquaintances, or just people in general that you don't even know. You don't need them to act a certain way. I have to go get that one. In order for you to be happy. So, from our well-being deck, the message is, it is my dominant intent to look for what I want to see. I love this because we just talked about how we need to try to separate ourselves from trying to control others' beliefs and behaviors. And this is the way to do that. And that is to look for what I want to see. So if you are in a situation where you have people in your life that you have that desire to try to control their behavior in any way, what we can start to do is look for what we want to see, which would be like writing out your positive aspects. Start, think about that person and start writing positive things about them. In the beginning, it may be one thing, but you can start to see what you want to see in others while they get to believe and behave in the ways that they are drawn to. And you can start to see the things that you appreciate about them. And that helps to keep your vibration where you want it to be, so that you could draw things into your life that you desire, because we get what we think about, wanted or not. So if we're consistently focused on something that we do not want, we're going to possibly get that in our lives. We've all probably been there. So let's think about, you know, those situations where we feel like we want to control or judge or, you know, stay away from people because of the way that they believe, that they behave, and instead try to see the positives. Another one I'm going to have to go get. These are popping out like crazy. Okay. So, sorry about that. This card is coming from the Money and the Law of Attraction deck. And the message here is, I can set my own standards for financial well-being. Here's that card. Once you are able to achieve and consistently maintain your personal alignment, a great deal of money will flow into your experience if that is your desire. Do not let others set the standards about how much money you should have or about what you should do with it, for you are the only one who could ever accurately define that. So I don't know if some of you are dealing with maybe people who are trying to control you, because the message could be indicating that as well, because here what I'm seeing is the message about you being able to have your beliefs while others behave and believe in their own ways. So maybe this is someone who is dealing with someone who's trying to control them. Or it could go either way. Take it as it resonates in your life, because this message is going to hit differently for different people. So setting your own standards for financial well-being is a message also of not allowing others to control you by, you know, influencing you with their beliefs or their thoughts, especially when it comes to money. There are many beliefs and many negative thoughts that come with money. So if you can, you know, start to discover what your relationship with money is, and start to envision yourself having the level of money that you would like to have and how that would feel, and getting into those good feeling places, and block out the noise of what others believe and what they think you should do when it comes to money, then you are going to bring more financial well-being into your life. So I think so far this message is very clear that we need to be looking for what we want to see. All right, I don't have to go get that one. It stayed put. See the positives, block out the noise of others' behavior and beliefs, and set your own intentions for what your financial well-being and what your general well-being is for you, and then try to vibrate there. So let's see what this message is from the Ask and It Is Given deck. My uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. Okay, this is fantastic, because in the messaging up to now, it seems like a lot of noise from within ourselves, our own thoughts, and from outside with other people and their behaviors and beliefs. So I like that we're being clarified here that uncontrolled thoughts are not something to be afraid of. There is no reason to worry about your thoughts, for they are not like a loaded gun that may wreak powerful and instantaneous destruction. For you have plenty of time, as soon as you become aware of any negative feeling, to begin to choose other less resistant thoughts and thereby choose a more desired outcome. Oh, that's such great clarification. So it's a clear path here as far as the message goes. So we're going to block out the noise of what others believe and behave about, and we're going to reach for what we want to see. So we're going to maybe journal. We're going to write a list of appreciation, things that we have in our lives that we appreciate, lists of positive aspects about other people, and we are going to see ourselves in the financial well-being that we would like to have. And we're going to also understand that our uncontrolled thoughts are not going to wreak havoc if it's just an instantaneous thought. If we're catching that and going, ooh, that's not exactly where I want to vibrate. Yeah, we're going to feel it. We're human. We're going to have negative emotion. And this is saying that that's a good thing, because that negative emotion can be an indication to us. It's guidance to us that this is not where we want to be thinking. So let's turn our thoughts around, go back to our positive aspects and our gratitude list. Look at that and go, oh, here's what I have to be happy about. Here's what makes me feel good. And there you go. Now we're in a much, much better mindset. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my mushroom coffee. I also have a beautiful clear quartz crystal over here next to our meditation candle. I like to have, things around me that invoke positive thoughts, positive feelings. So our last law of attraction deck is the law of attraction card deck. Excuse me. And so let's see how the universe is going to round out this message for us. So far, it's been super clear. I like the guidance, simple practices that we could put in place. Another one that comes to my mind is visualization. When it comes to this, I set my own standards for my financial well-being. Visualization is a fantastic way to bring things into our lives because it gives us that opportunity to use our imaginations and feel really good about what we're seeing. And, the studies show that our brain does not know the difference between an actual experience that's happening out here. It doesn't differentiate between that and what's an experience that's happening in our mind. So visualization has been used for a very, very long time by top athletes, by public speakers, and we can use it in our own lives to affect positive change and start to see things come into our experience that we want because we've already been there in our mind. We have seen what it looks like. We have felt the feelings of having that because that's the two most important components of visualization. Visualizing what it is that you want. What's the experience you want to have? Visualize it. Imagine that it is yours and feel those feelings. That's very important. The feelings of having what you desire. Okay, so our card from the Law of Attraction deck is my manifesting thoughts are buffered by time. This goes exactly hand in hand with my uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. So we do not need to fear them, for we can change our thoughts. And then the effects of the thoughts over time is what brings things in. And my manifesting thoughts are buffered by time is that message. Your earth is a nice environment for fine-tuning your knowledge. For here your thoughts do not translate into instant equivalence. Your thoughts are governed by a buffer of time. If you were instantly manifesting, you would be spending more time trying to fix your mistakes than you would in creating what you want. That is fantastic because what it's telling us is that we can build this practice of thinking in a more positive way and vibrating in a happier vibration. And over time, practicing those things, writing your positive aspects, writing down your list of gratitude or appreciation, visualizing the things that you want and feeling what it's like to have them. Over time, this is what creates that reality around you that matches the vibration that you are consistently creating. It is a practice. I know there's a lot of, get rich quick schemes and manifest instantly. And those are fantastic ideas. And sometimes manifestations, boom. But I feel like they have been worked on within us for much longer than what we realize. So let's get into these practices. And speaking of practices, I also want to draw a last card from my Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck, because this is another way that we can work with the energy centers in our bodies to enhance our lives and to learn more about ourselves. I feel like that's a big part of all these practices, is learning about who we are, who we want to be, what we want in life. And those things change over time. We're constantly expanding. You're always going to want different, more, things. And so I think if we can embrace that with these practices, over time, we're going to realize more and more joy and more of the things that we want around us. So let's look at what possible energy center the universe thinks that we could work in that would go hand in hand with the messages we've received today. So let's remember, I'm going to recap the messages. There are many right ways for us to behave. So that's the live and let live. One of the ways we could do that is to make our dominant intent to look for what we want to see. And that's where writing down the list of positive aspects and appreciation list. Then I can set my own standards for financial well-being. So here we're setting it up. We're understanding there's many right ways to behave. My dominant intent is going to be to look for what I want to see, and then I am going to see in my mind my own financial well-being. I'm going to understand that my uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. We can change our thoughts, especially if we work with them over time, and that is why my manifesting thoughts are buffered by time. So we can understand there's time. We're always in a hurry, and we got our card for our chakra. Okay, the chakra card we drew is mysticism. Mysticism. And as you can see, the color is purple. So I'm going to get my Chakra Wisdom Oracle card book. There's a book that comes with it, and we're going to look and see what the message here is for mysticism. Okay, mysticism. This is a time of trusting in the unknown. You already sense the answer, even if it is not apparent. Do not ask others what they see. Oh my gosh, this goes right with our message, the very first card, that there are many right ways for us to behave. Do not ask what others what they see, for you alone can see into the heart of the matter. Trust your intuitive powers to guide you. So this is a call to trust your own intuition. And this is going to be, let's see, the mysticism card is you are not to know. So the inspiration is, it is wise to be the observer. Do not respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but it is no longer necessary to fear. Living in the unknown is what the law of attraction requires if you want to create, because you do not always have the very specific things in your mind that are going to come into your life. What you have is a vibration, and then you get to be delighted and surprised by what comes in if you're open to allowing it. So I love this message. So a personal inquiry that we could do is, am I ignoring my intuition? That's a good question, because a lot of times I feel like we find that, yes, we have been ignoring our intuition. And we'll find ourselves in situations or making decisions and later saying, there was something in my gut that was telling me not to do that or to make this other decision. So let's ask ourselves, are we ignoring our intuition? What I suspect is probably true. I must breathe. Okay, so I think this is encouraging us then to trust our intuition. And one of the ways to do that is through meditation, because you are focusing on your breath. You are going deep within. And when you are in that state of meditation, you oftentimes will find yourself receiving messages. I know I do when I meditate. Sometimes I'll get messages, sometimes I won't. But putting yourself into that state, focusing on your breathing, over time teaches you how to listen to your intuition, how to trust your intuition. So the meditation here is to see yourself in a crystal clear pool. As you wade in the water, a whirlpool swirls toward you and catches you. Aubergine, who is the woman associated with the mysticism card, would leave if you weren't captive. Assure her that you will stay if she sets you free. She doesn't believe you. You have met your own fear. So you're creating that fear for you in this meditation. Open your eyes. What is real? what is imagined, and what is no longer necessary. Well, that's an interesting meditation. So I encourage all of you to think about the messaging here from the universe, to work on listening to and trusting your intuition. And I hope that you really get something out of this reading. I know I always get something out of the readings that I do. And put into place some of these practices so that you can realize in your life the things that you desire. Because that is the beauty of our lives. We have the power, we have the ability to control our thoughts, vibrate where we want to vibrate, and then witness what comes in for us. So I hope you'll take on the challenge and enhance your lives. And I'll see you in the next video on Wednesday for Love and Relationships. Cheers, guys.